I'll give some people some time because normally I'll do this at 8 o'clock, but giving you all some time. I had this exam caused some problem, but caused some problems. That's IT. No, I haven't looked at the papers yet. I just I just got an email, an anonymous email, and I opened it, and I realized that the paper was sideways, so then I had to go and rotate it because it was pure black magic. I mean, pure black market stuff, like fully black marketish. Anytime we get the paper on it sideways, that's a sign that the black market was working overtime. Find it take long. I still don't get the ComSci Unit 2, but anyhow. IT Unit 1, I heard some stories, so I'm going to see the paper just as you would have seen it. I didn't get to preview this in advance or anything of the sort. So, let's see what good old TXC did today. I wonder if there'll be any emotional damage. Alright, so let's share it in your WhatsApp groups and stuff. Let the folks know that the solution is being worked out. I don't want to have to repeat anything. So share it with the folks. In the meantime, let's rate the black market. Let's rate the black marketness of it. All right, so let's start off. It's scanned pretty clearly. All right, yeah, not too blurry. It's scanned on legal paper though, so it have a legal paper. It have a little space on top and a little space below on all the pages. There's a slight lean to the right. And yeah, there's definitely a lean. But all the pages seem to be there. Page 7, page 8, page 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right here, 14, 15. Last time I got a black market paper, it didn't have all the pages, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, a blank page, okay. All right, so I will give it, what I'll give this? I'll give this one, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It will lose points because it's on legal paper and for the slant, and it's slightly blurry. But in terms of black market quality, it's a solid 7 out of 10. Solid 7 out of 10. What do you think? Yeah. It counts. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, you finish sharing? Like the video, share it in your WhatsApp group, share it with your friends, share it on Discord, wherever it is you have to share it. Solutions going down. And these are blind solutions. I have not looked at the paper. I have no idea what the questions are. All I do is I heard something about a table that had people vexed and an HTML question that had people vexed. So, all right, so let's go. Starting with number 1. I heard module 1 was cake. Let's see how much cake it really was. Number 1, right. Yedui. Udai is preparing here. Udai is preparing for end of quarter sales presentation to explain the performance for the period. He must present a spreadsheet which contains all the salesperson's data, including tables, charts, and PowerPoint version. He must also provide a recording of the previous meeting for discussion. In order to save his work, he is given the 2 devices shown below. Alright, clearly this is a CD, compact disc, and this is a floppy. My problem is one time floppy is not on, I don't know if floppy is still on the syllabus, but okay. At least you know. Which device is first in historical timeline information technology? Device 2. Because a floppy came before a CD. Just so you know, just in case you want to show. State whether device 2 is suitable for your device job. Give 2 reasons for your answer. No, it is not. Why is my dog barking so much? No, it is not. Why is it not? And they say give 2 reasons. 1, the space is too small. 1.44 megabytes is not enough. Not enough to do what by you? What's the problem? What are they trying to do? To save large spreadsheets. Yeah. No, to save multiple spreadsheets and a PowerPoint. I'm over answering this because, well, it's easy. 2, why it's not, because you may not find a device that is able to use that has a floppy disk drive. Yeah. Yeah. It may be obsolete, as there are no devices, as there may not be any modern devices with floppy drives. FLOPPY. All right, so we take that. It's 3 marks. So 1 mark for saying no. Next mark is for your explanation of it's too small. Next mark is the explanation for nobody has a floppy drive. Yeah, we'll take that, right? So let's go next. Recommend 2 other devices that would be suitable for the task. You might want to say a USB thumb drive, or you could say a SD card, or you could say a micro SD card, or you could say external hard drive. Yeah, those should be good enough. Those are usually portable storage devices. I still recommend you use a CD because CD is kind of old too. Flash storage is way better. It's more durable. All right, using examples from the scenario on page 4, identify 5 components of the information processing cycle. What? What on page 4? Using examples from the scenario on page 4, identify 5 components of the information processing cycle. Whoa, let me see. Please prepare an end of quarter sales presentation to explain performance for the period. He must present a spreadsheet that contains all the salesperson's data, including tables, charts, and a PowerPoint presentation. He must give a recording of the previous meeting for discussion. In order to save his work, he is given 2 devices. This question is interesting. For 5 marks, why? Examples of, from the scenario on page 4, identify 5 components of the information. All right, so let's see what the information processing cycle is. Input, process, output, feedback. So we have input, process, output, storage, and feedback. I'm guessing they only want, yeah, I'm guessing it's 5 marks. So input, process, output, storage, and feedback. Cool. So let's see if we could find anything that has input. Input would be the salesperson's data. All right, so we put that salesperson's data. Input salesperson's data. Cool. Process. What is the process? Process would be, this is a nice question. Spreadsheet that contains data, tables and charts. Tables and charts will be processing it, so yeah, you could, which contains solutions, data including tables, charts, and pointer. You must also work. Yeah. Yeah, so we say making the tables and charts is a process. So making tables and charts from the data. All right, that was cool because you have to make the tables and charts from the data. Output now, what would the output be? Tables and charts and a PowerPoint presentation. Well, we said the presentation is the output. Okay. After you make all the tables and charts, you would output it as a presentation. I would want to argue that you may say that the graphs and charts could be an output too. So you could say like finished graph. But there's a fight down answer. That'll be an answer that the examiners will have to fight to determine if it's acceptable or not. So we'll kind of leave it there. Storage, they said he must also provide a recording of the previous meeting for discussion. So the recording of the previous meeting will be storage. Recording of meeting. Feedback now is a little difficult to find. Feedback, in order to see if his work is given to devices shown. Or meeting for discussion. So you have to provide the recording for discussion. So discussion in the meeting of the recording. All right. That's a hard 5 marks, boy. Because first of all, you need to know the information processing cycle, and then you have to be able to pull that from the paragraph. Well done, CXC. This was a good question. This is a question I'll separate the sheep from the goat. So that was good. We'll take that. Next up, part B. UDI was considering using the company's website or device one to share information on shareholders. Outline one advantage and one disadvantage of using the company's website instead of device one. Look at space. How much? 4 marks. So that means two marks for each part. So the advantage of using the website is it is easily accessible to the people once they have an internet connection. But look at space to right. Nah, boy, I not writing so much for 2 marks. That's not right. That's not. Yeah, that's not right. Yeah, once they have an internet connection. Yeah, easily accessible once they have an internet connection. Disadvantage of using a company's website instead of a CD drive would be they want to share the information to shareholder. What is the disadvantage of using the internet instead of a CD? Is there a disadvantage of using the internet? Okay. If shareholders have no internet connection, they would not be able to view the report. I mean, it's real hard for me in 2023 to write down if somebody doesn't have internet access. That's a real, I find that's a real waste of time answer these days, but apparently that is all because device one is clearly a CD-ROM, and they're asking you for one disadvantage of using the website instead of device one. The only disadvantage of putting something on the internet is if you can't access the internet. I don't know if it's security. Like, security might be an answer because if it meant for the shareholders and they put it on the internet, then anybody can get it. All right, maybe let's table security at the side. All right, I'll have to talk to somebody that marking this year to find out about this question because I can't really sell a disadvantage of it being on the internet. But okay, that's question one. Question one wasn't that bad. I like this question, however, because this question is an application of your understanding of input, process, output, storage, and feedback. That's the kind of questions we like to see. Teachers like to see application questions to show your understanding. not questions that tell you the internet is bad. All right, question number 2. A drive-through has implemented an information system to help manage its data processing and reporting. Receipts are given to customers after each purchase, and quarterly reports are used to review sales and customer feedback. A sample receipt is shown below. Okay, thanks for the receipt. Servers Nicole orders 21 receipt number. They have no receipt number. Why the receipt number under there? Why didn't they put a receipt number? Oh, the receipt number on the right hand side. Kind of weird. So they have receipt number and then the receipt number quite on the side. Very awkward. Very awkward. But that's okay. Large fries, 2 beef burgers, 2 large fizzy drinks, number of items, 6 subtotal, tax, total amount, cash given. Next. Cool. So that's a bill. What do we do with the bill? Identify 2 examples of data and 1 example of information in the receipt in figure 2. Ooh, nice. I like these questions. Data would be, you could have the number of fries bought. You could have the date. You could have order number. You could have receipt number. Basically, anything that's a number. Okay, don't put number of fries bought. That's it have much more low-hanging fruit there. Much more low-hanging fruit. Date, order number, time. Time is a piece of data. Yeah. And then you have the higher hanging fruit, which will be number of items. No, number of items is not data, that's information because you gotta add. Right, anything you have to do maths on, you'll get anything you have to do maths on, that'll be information. So I get data there. 2 examples of data and 1 example of information. Information would be number of items. Number of items. Because you have to add to get 6. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 gives you 6. That's information. Subtotal. That's information also because you have to take all of these numbers here, add them up to get that number. Tax is information also because you have to multiply the tax. Total information also. And yeah. Subtotal. Total. Yeah. All right, anything you have to do maths for? It's that's information. Anything it does have, anything that just stated, that's data. So I'll just kind of drag this across then. Yeah. All right, time, date, order number, receipt number, anything that's a number, data, information, right? Part B, a customer approaches the drive-thru and selects items from the menu. On approaching the speaker, the cashier prompts the customer to place the order. The customer then proceeds to the drive-thru window to pay using a debit card and then collects the order. All right. Complete the table below by using examples from the scenario above to match the data with the correct data types. Numeric is approaching the drive-thru and selects items from the menu. Selecting items from the menu. The menu is definitely visual. Oral is the cashier prompting. Because the cashier will ask you, what do you want? Customer then proceeds to the drive-thru window to pay using a debit card. Numeric would be the amount that you pay. Payment. It's kind of kind of weird. Yeah, this one a little weird. So pay is money, so that's numeric, that's a number. Oral is cashier prompts, because the cashier will ask you, how much do you want? Or what do you want? And the menu is they select items from the menu. The menu is visual, because you have to look at the menu to choose what you want. Nice. The customer who placed order 21 only has $40 based on the prices of the items on the receipt. Describe one other combination of the order to me. What? Say that one more time. The customer who placed order 21 only has $40. What is order 21? This is order 21? Yes, order 21. They only have $40. Thanks. Suggests, based on the prices of the items on the receipt, describe one other combination of the order to meet the $40. So we need to look at the bill and mix and match to figure out what I could get for $40. You know, that's like when you walk up to the to somebody and be like, boss, what you could get me for $40, boy? And the man watch you like,
no! God, please, no! No! No!
because you play big and gone in TGI and with $40 and ask the waiter what you could get for $40 and they'll tell you water. Pipe water. Alright, so let's mix and match and see what we can get inside here. $40. You can get 2 beef burgers and 2 large fizzy drinks. No, you can't. No, 2 beef burgers. $27.50 plus $12.50. 0 0 0 5 1 8 1 1 8 0 2 3 4 $40. All right, 2 beef burgers and 2 fizzy drinks. That's a very odd question. 2 beef burgers and 2 large fizzy drinks. All right, this exam a little weird so far. It is a little weird. Some of the scenarios here, they're a little left field, and the questions they're asking about the scenario, like what part of the syllabus is being tested here? I don't know. I can't see what part of the syllabus is being tested here. Customer who placed order 21 only has $40. Why would they want you to find another combination? Unless you're finding data. Oh, okay. I guess. Customer who played order 21 received poor service at the drive-thru. The scenario, I love the scenario that they're trying to portray. The scenario, nice. The question, however, the way that they're asking the question is a difficult scenario to turn into information systems questions, but they try their best. I'll give them that. Customer placed order 21 received poor service. The customer decided to express his or her displeasure. Discuss whether the customer should use a cross-platform messaging tool or a social media tool to post his or review. Justify your answer. Well, of course, you'll use social media. Because, one, you'll have a wider reach. That would gather more attention. And 2, you can directly tag the business in the social media posts to get their attention. Yeah, so you put it on social media because you want to loud them up and you want to make things, you want to like sound bad. Yeah, cross-platform messaging tool ain't really gonna help anything because you'll just send messages into our WhatsApp group and they might just ignore you. Might just ignore you. Maybe. Anything else I could put there? I don't think anything else. Social media has a wide reach and it can directly tag the business and yeah, basically want attention if you're trying to do that right. Identify which type of data, quantitative or qualitative, is most appropriate for each of the following examples. Give a reason for each. Customers have been recommending beef burgers to their friends. That's qualitative. Qualitative, because it expresses the subjective view of a person. Yeah. Part 2, the end of day sales have shown that 86.5% of the customers were requesting beef burgers and large fries. Quantitative, because it is a numerical value that can be measured. Ding, 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 ding. Right. All right, so that's module 1. Not bad at all. The scenario is a little iffy, but if you understand your work and you understand information processing and whatnot, you can match back everything to the scenario, which is good stuff. These are good questions because these questions will test your actual understanding and application of the knowledge. Now on to module 2, where I got a lot of bad, let's call this word, bad reviews. Reviews is the word? Yeah. Anyway, people on Instagram will saying there are some problems, yeah. Was that still for question 2 part C? Let's go back to 2 part C. Wouldn't it be what? 1 burger? Oh yeah, totally correct. No, wait. No, it'll be 2 burgers. The 2 burgers cost $27.50 and the 2 large fizzy drinks cost $12.50. So it'll be 2 each. Yeah. Dog, I ain't not gonna go through all our maths at all, you know. Like, you could just combine anything that you want. I want to come up to less than $40. You're good, right? I can't go through all our maths, but this will be 2 beef burgers because according to the bill, the 2 beef burgers cost $27.50, not 1. 1 beef burger costs $13.75. So well, yeah, you could put 1 beef burger and 1 large fizzy drink, you know, it doesn't matter. I don't really, I just was trying to find something that would be an exact 40 because the man had to eat. The customer had to eat. If you could afford 2 burgers, why would you buy 1? You need money to travel home or something? Yeah. My boy going home hungry, but at least he didn't have to walk. At least he didn't have to walk. Alright, so yeah, any combination of less than 40 should be okay. The answer sheet will more than likely have multiple combinations less than 40. Alright, so let's go to module 2. The Ministry of Education uses more than one information system which allows them to process information. Thanks. Describe the most suitable information system that will be used by each of the following categories of employees. A clerical officer, Minister of Education. That's all? If you think about categories of information systems, you have MIS, TPS. Let me do the Minister of Education. That one easier to do. Minister of Education will use a EIS, Executive Information System. Because they make high-level decisions. So they need high-level data. Yeah. You could also get with MIS, Management Information System. The Ministry of Education might use that too. If you want to describe MIS, then describe MIS. Clerical officer will use a TPS, transaction processing system, because they would be dealing with day-to-day transactions. Right. Alright, so the other information systems that are available would be DSS and expert system. I doubt a clerical officer will be using an expert system. You might be able to fight the clerical officer using a DSS. Might. Maybe. But I don't know. I can't see them accepting a DSS without a really, really good explanation. What does a clerical officer need a decision support system for? Clerical officer, they really have anything to do that. The most you might get is to fight a DSS for the Minister of Education. You could fight the DSS for the Minister of Education because they have to make decisions. Yeah. But for the clerical officer, TPS is definitely there. Minister of Education, EIS, MIS, DSS, any one of the three, and you could explain that out fairly simply once you understand how each of the system works. Right, the decision support system will help them make decisions for the long term. The management information system will aggregate data from different ministries, because they tell you they use more than one information system. So they will aggregate the data in MIS, and EIS will still aggregate the data but give you like high level decision making stuff. So I would say MIS or EIS, DSS. That could fit too. Part B, figure 3 shows an application form which was used to capture both structured and unstructured data. Oh my goodness. Look at this question. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. So they tell you that they're capturing both structured and unstructured data. Now when they capture structured and unstructured data, that means you have to process it somehow. So, explain the difference between structured information and unstructured information. So structured information, structured has a rigid format that must be followed and is not rich in interpretation. Meaning you could understand it easily. While unstructured has to be interpreted within a particular context. Yeah. Right. It's only 2 marks, so I don't think you'll have much of a problem there. And then they probably want to give you some examples. State 3 characteristics of the applicant that may not be able to use... What? 3 characteristics of an applicant who may not be able to use the form shown in figure 3. Characteristics of an applicant? What is this? 3 characteristics of an applicant who may not be able to use the form. What do they mean by characteristics? What is a characteristic of an applicant? If you are successful, you'll be required to provide evidence of the above prior to your appointment. Okay, so if you have, are you applying for a driving job? Do you have a valid driver's license? Okay, so if you don't have a valid driver's license, clearly, if you say no there, right. But then, what sense it make having the form and then asking you if you have a valid driver's license? I mean, as soon as you say no, then it wouldn't make sense submitting the form. They should have put, you must have a valid driver's license. But okay. I digress. If you are successfully required to provide evidence of the above prior to appointment. A valid driver's license. What else you need to provide evidence of? Are you applying for a driving job? And then they want what? State 3 characteristics of an applicant who may not be able to use the form.
Nani? 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 Nani?
What we are doing is trying to stave off a calamity.
All right. Come on. Let me see. Let's think about it. So this is an application form. They didn't say what the job application is for. I don't know. So it's a job application form. What type of person can't fill this out? If you're applying for a driving job, good. You can't apply for a driving job if you're less than 18. Somebody in the chat just said if you're doing for a driving job. Okay, cool. So somebody underage, yes. So if you're less than 18, don't apply for this. If you don't have a driver's license, no license. Cool. And if you have no email. But having no email is not a characteristic. Are they talking about like visually impaired or disabled or some kind of thing? Like, what is the characteristic of a person? That's very weird. What the characteristics of an applicant? They didn't say physical capability. The characteristics of an applicant. Characteristics. What's characteristics of an applicant? All right. There you go. Age less than 18. Does not have a license. Has no email. Dog, I'm gonna put disable, yes? I really want to see the answer to this question. I really need to see the answer to this question. Yo, hold on a second there. Alright, but I don't know if it's right. Sorry, Irish bug. Age less than 18, doesn't have a license, has no email, disabled. What else, boy? Are you applying for a driving job? If you're disabled, you can't apply for a driving. What about if you don't have a mobile phone? Do you have to fill out the information for the mobile phone? Must have a mobile phone, must have an address. I just seen, yeah. I would love to be there when they are giving the answers to this question. I would love to be there when they are. Yeah, they'll make real inferences. Alright, let me go with that. That's cool. That's 3. I would assume that age and doesn't have a license and well has no email, has a sketchy one, disabled is a sketchy one. I can't get the third one for sure. Definitely not too sure about the third one. But the first two, we can take that based on the form. Because you can't drive if you don't have a license and you can't drive if you're less than 18. Because you have to provide evidence of your address. I don't know. Moving on. Yeah. This is one of those questions where you just be like, all right, cool. I did my best. Hopefully they will have some sensible people marking. Identify two types of human-computer interface other than form that can be used to improve the effectiveness of data collection. Menu. Direct manipulation. Menu will give them a bunch of choices and they have to choose each one. And then direct manipulation, you will touch exactly what you want. Yeah. GUI is not a good answer here. You can't put GUI. Don't put GUI. GUI will be bad because you will give them a chance to mess up everything. Because GUI, people can click all over the place now and they'll like be like, I mashed it up. I don't know what happened. Yeah, that's why I give people very straightforward forms to fill out. Very, very straightforward. Nice. Okay, that was easy. Describe two design aspects of any HCI that if implemented effectively will enable user to effectively use the HCI. Two design aspects. Alright, yeah, cool. Alright, you want to give them you want to limit the amount of choices by giving a set range of options and then you want to then you also want to provide or make certain things mandatory, so no important information is left out. All right, those are usually two things that a HCI should have. Limit the amount of choices to make sure that they don't choose things out of the range, like, you know, choose 20 cars when they should only put 2. Make certain things mandatory so that important information is not left out. What else are leaving out? Let me see. You could say navigation. Yeah, navigation. Let's say navigation. Navigation buttons put in thoughtful places. Yeah, navigation buttons put in thoughtful places. We can take that because that's one of the good things about HCI. After that, you're fighting a real hard battle. Usually make sure the people put the data in properly, make sure that the things that you need to get, you are going to get, and make sure it's easy for them to use. After that, what else human-computer interface should have? Color. But they want to efficiently use the HCI. Yeah, I don't know. You could fight them all kind of other answers. I guess once it makes sense, it should be okay. But because there's 4 marks, so each one of them you have to be able to get 2 marks with each answer. So limit the amount of choices, give a range as 2 marks. Certain things mandatory, so important information not left out. Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. Navigation buttons in thoughtful places, so they finish the process. You gotta give a reason. If you don't give a reason, then you wouldn't get it 2 marks. Because it's 2 marks you're fighting for. Yep, this was a weird question. It had so much potential. Had so much potential, but any questions they ask about it, especially this one here about 3 characteristics of an applicant, nope, nope, this is not it. This is not it. Yeah, so part 2 here, I'm concerned or perturbed about what they'll be looking for. And then for part 4, this one a little tricky too with the HCI implementation, but not that bad. I mean, so far we've bounced up what, two weird questions? Yeah. Alright, there you go. Next, number 4. A newspaper company wants to connect all the devices in its newly built office using a computer network. They are advised to create a wireless network instead of a wired network. Who advised them to create a wireless network, boy? Who was the smart person that said yes? Let's create a wireless network. One advantage of using a wireless network out of a wired is range of access. Wow. This is data. Should I say more? Okay, range of access would be better because wired is fixed. Yeah, cool. Describe the function of a virtual private network. A virtual private network creates a secure connection from a client to a server via the internet. Yeah, secure connection, client to server, internet. 2 marks. Should be okay. For 4A advantage, yeah, if you want to put no wires, yeah, it's cool. No wires. You could say range of access, you could say no wires, you could say cost. All those advantages. Yeah, all those advantages. If you're watching this video and you're getting depressed, you stop watching it, you know. I really know out here trying to get you depressed. I really just out here trying to work out the paper for those who want to see. Alright, in order to troubleshoot a variety of wireless network issues, commands are used to help identify the problem. Complete the table below by writing the appropriate command to Ooh, wow, they bring the commands. This is a new thing that was added to the syllabus in 2022. This is a new thing. So a computer network administration software utility used to test the reachability of a host on the internet. That is called a ping. I don't know if teachers taught this. Yeah. Ping, that's command line. That's ping. Program will let a computer user find an IP address. That is ping does do that too. No, trace route. No. Hold on. No. Ping will show you the IP address. If you ping google.com, you'll get the IP address. Trace route will check to see if you could reach the internet. Trace route. Trace RT. However, our problem with this, because on Linux, they have different commands. On Linux, they have ping, but I don't think they have trace route on Linux. But anyhow, I think I'll teach the commands for Windows. So trace route is to check to see if you could get to somewhere on the internet. It'll trace your route to test to see if you could get to a particular host. And ping will, if you ping google.com, it will show the IP address of Google. Well, the IP of where Google is located. Yeah. Actually, in actuality, ping could work for both of them because ping will show you if you could reach a host on the internet. Because if you ping the host, it will give you a response. Yeah. Logically speaking, ping will work. Traceroute is just the one that does it a little more technical and shows you all the hops for all your locations that you go through. So traceroute or ping. And then ping for the second one. Yeah, cool. We're taking that. Ping. The problem with ping is that most of your students think ping is the latency time you have when you're playing a game. But really and truly, ping is a small set of packets that are sent over the internet and returned to let you know if you have a connection. But defining protocol, a set of rules that govern the transfer of data on a network. I mean, protocol from an IT perspective. Yeah. Say one example of our protocol: HTTP, FTP, TCP/IP, and you could go on and on and on. But we'll just go with this. I'll put FTM, yes? FTP, I meant to say FTP. File transfer protocol. Yeah. I think we're good there. Figure 4 shows a fully labeled diagram of all the components of a web page that HTML code is required to generate. Oh, look at that. They want you, yeah, person who put VoIP, yeah, VoIP was a protocol too. We have to write the HTML for all of this. Haha. How much marks? 7 marks. Why do you only give it 5 lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I don't think 5 lines is enough. Did I miss a page? No, this page 15.
How is the Ministry of Education in Trinidad, in Guyana, in Jamaica, in Barbados allowing CX to do this to us still?
Tell me how to write out the HTML code for this web page on our 5 lines. By the time I put the word HTML, I use up all the space. Anyhow, there we go. Yeah, the HTML. Close the HTML. Hopefully I'll fit it in this space. Yeah, I'll have the title tag. Title will be breaking news. Title bar is in bold also. Alright, so we have to put a bold tag in between there. Breaking news. CXC is wicked. Close title. Alright, marks. Take that. Then you have the body. BODY. The body is going to have an H1, 10 new scholarships. Why don't they give you so little bit of space, boy? I'm not happy with the amount of space that they give you, but H1 is there. Paragraph and font is Arial, so we have to put a paragraph tag, and then we have to say style equal font face. Is font face or font by? Yeah, font face colon Arial semicolon. Close the paragraph tag. And then we put in by Lena Carmichael. And then close the paragraph tag. The background is blue, so I'll just say body style equal background color. Colon blue. Semicolon. Close that body tag. Open that body tag. Font family, yeah, font family, yeah, correct, yeah. Why did I get font face? I think that was like HTML4 or something, so this is a font face. Font family, Arial. Yeah. Alright, so is this 7 marks? Let's see. They're probably giving you a mark for a title tag and a mark for that, then a mark for the H1, that's 3. A mark for paragraph tag, that's 4. Arial 5. Background in blue 6. And what is the 7th mark for, boy? The 7th mark would be for, I don't know what the 7th mark would be for, but I think that's what they're looking for. 7th mark will probably be encasing it in a HTML tag, I guess. Yeah. Alright, so enough vex for the HTML because HTML is on the syllabus, and yeah, I guess if you put the style in the CSS, if you put like the style at the start of the title, in the head, you'll be able to style the paragraph one time, yeah. So you could put the CSS in the style, but you don't teach CSS in Unit 1 now. So I don't know if they will be like, oh, that's too advanced or something, but you could put the CSS in the head. Yeah. But this one is a real straightforward title, body. That's basically what they're looking for. But if you put in a head, sure, no problem. But my problem is the lack of space. The 5 lines, they kind of forcing you to cramp in a lot of stuff there. And you realize I couldn't even fit the HTML. Couldn't even fit that. Because you had to put the HTML tag to open and close the HTML, the website. So yeah. Yeah, so that would be the 7 marks. I'm quite alright with that. I'm quite alright with the question, but I'm not quite alright with the space that they gave for the question. Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah. Not too happy about that. Alright, now for the infamous. So right, that's the end of module 2. Well done. Alright, module 2 wasn't that bad. The HTML was doable. It's just that this stupid question here with the user interface, this part here, characteristics of the applicant. No bueno. No. Not good. But that's alright. Let's soldier on because that's what you did. Remember, I didn't see this paper before, so I'm experiencing it just as you would have. And my reactions are fully genuine. Ringo is a chicken farmer. Over the last 2 years, he has suffered losses of his chickens because of a mystery disease. Okay, Ringo. He was advised by some friends to use unrefereed sources about the disease. Identify 2 examples of an unrefereed source. Ringo is a chicken farmer. Over the last 2 years, he suffered losses of his chickens because of a mystery disease. Unrefereed source would be what's going to see? What? Who asked me a question about question 1 day? If it's a SD card, don't tell me I'm crazy. I doubt I that crazy. Is it a SD card? No, that's a floppy disk. That's fully a floppy disk. Come on, don't make me go crazy like that. Now that's a floppy disk. Google what floppy disk looks like. It will look exactly like that. Yes, back to the question. My bad, sorry. Back to module 3. Ringo, right. So Ringo is a chicken farmer. Ringo by who's on refereed source? Other farmers. Who farm other animals. So you can't ask somebody who not rearing chickens about chickens. That's surplus to requirements. That's not smart. Then you would also want to other farmers who don't farm the other animals, and let's say newspapers. Newspapers are not very reputable because they are unrefereed sources. Fight down answers. Fight down answers would be a journal. You can fight a journal doesn't have refereed sources, although a journal does have. You had a real fight to say that a journal doesn't have refereed sources. If it's a journal that talks about farming and agriculture, maybe. Easy answers. The next easy answer is magazine. Because magazines didn't really put too much effort into finding information about the articles, so magazines will fit there too. We'll take that. And you could also fight down journal, magazine, and you could fight down like a blog. Blogs aren't really too reputable websites, you know. I ain't going so far as to say textbook and book now. Textbooks and books have references inside of it. Once it has references, that means it's refereed. It'll be a refereed source. So books definitely wouldn't fall in this category. So you'll take farmers, which is people, aka people. And we will take newspapers because newspapers can have it. Yeah. The only others will be like Wiki. Wiki, you can fight Wiki, but you have easier answers. Why would you go to the harder answers when you have the easier answers? You have low-hanging fruit. Discuss the advantage of Ringo using an unrefereed source of information instead of a refereed source. The advantage? Discuss the advantage of using an unrefereed source of information. For 3 marks. Discuss the advantage of using an unrefereed source. Remember here, my reactions are totally genuine. Eh? If I was sitting on the exam, I would read this question like 4 times. Discuss the advantage of Ringo using an unrefereed source of information instead of a. What good could come out of using a source that is bad? What good thing can you get from using a bad thing?
Se pra isso eu já aceitei. Eu tô dentro, eu assino onde for, assino como.
All right. Easiest answer is ease of access. Ease of access. And it's a discussed question, so now I have to break down how ease of access is a good thing. Right? I have to break it down because it's 3 marks I'm fighting for. So I get 1 mark for saying ease of access. Cool. Now I have to say, and I have to kind of give an example. So let's see. Ease of access. These sources are usually readily available because they have a high accessibility. Example, humans. On example, other people. or they are published regularly. Example, newspapers and magazines. Alright, I think that getting you 3 marks there. That getting you 3 marks. That's, yeah. Ease of access, because these sources are usually readily available and they have a high accessibility. So that's the second mark there, because you're showing that they're usually readily available. Saying ease of access in another way, basically. And then you give an example, because when they give a discuss question, you should give an example to show that you are able to discuss what is taking place. Let me see what other answers. The timeliness cause unreferred sources are often created in real time, allowing you to access the timeliness. Yeah, you could say timeliness and explain it also. Timeliness. Yeah. Yeah, well, you take timeliness, yeah. Timeliness and accessibility, yeah, you could get that. You could get that. Timeliness. You could break down timeliness by saying you will be able to get things faster and whatnot, yeah. So if you whichever one you choose, you could break down timeliness into speed and implementation. Because whatever you find out, you could implement it one time. Yeah, so timeliness is a good one. So you could choose either one. Ease of access, I think, is the better answer. Because as I said, low-hanging fruit, that one easy to get. After you read the question and understand what they want, ease of access is a better answer. Timeliness is the second best one, I think. So you could probably try that one. Cool. Ringo currently has 150 chickens. The Ministry of Agriculture has instructed him to adhere to. I always tell my students, you need to learn how what farmers do. If you're doing IT and for CAPE, you always need to know 2 things: how banks work and how farming works, because they always asking a question about some financial institution or farming. Okay. Ringo currently has 150 chickens. The Ministry of Agriculture has instructed him to adhere to the following. Yeah. So if I was in the exam, when you all did this exam, I would have just stop and stretch right now, because they're doing too much. They're doing too much. This is a paper that is you know when a paper trying too hard. And right now, this paper trying too hard. So how long are we here for? 1 hour and 8 minutes. If it's a 2.5 hour exam, no, it's a 2 hour exam. I like, all right. Oof. I have 50 minutes to do this last piece here. Let me take my time. Okay. All right. Oh. Wait. Oh, who's this person? Let's put our comment in the chat there, boy. Would they want you to include the tax? You know, you make a very good point. Let's just scroll back up to that burger question before I go back there, because I think I missed out an important thing. Let me see. What did it say? Here, burger question, right. They said, customer only has $40 based on the prices of the items on the receipt. Describe one other combination of the order to meet the $40 limit. If you do 2 beef burgers and 2 large fizzy drinks, it'll be $40 exact. The subtotal will be $40, and then you have to consider the tax. Yeah, you're correct. Alright, we'll just put 2 beef burgers and 1 large fizzy drink. Yeah. Right, so that'll drop under the 40 and everybody will live their life normal. Cool, great. Whatever combination you have, make sure you consider tax. That is what I'm saying. But they didn't tell us the tax amount. You had to calculate that tax amount. And that's just too much math for IT people. They could have given binary instead. Alright, back to Ringo. Ringo has 150 chickens. The Ministry of Agriculture has instructed him to adhere to the following daily procedures in order to control the spread of the mysterious diseases. Once there are 50 or less sick chickens, administer medication to them. However, if there are 100 or more chickens, notify the Ministry of Agriculture, otherwise quarantine the sick chickens. Draw a flowchart to illustrate this. Alright, this one that I had. I could see this. Start. Read chickens. I'll put CH for chickens. After you read the chickens, you will say if there are 50 or less chickens, if CH is less than 50, less than or equal to 50, administer medication. If the answer is yes, administer medication, which will be a process. And however, if there are 100 or more chickens, what? So no, there are not less than 150 chickens, so no medication needs to be administered. I guess we'll just come back here. Yeah, we'll just meet back up right here. However, if there are more than 100 chickens, wait. We had to read sick chickens too. Alright, so we had to read CH for chickens. And then we had to read SCH for sick chickens. So SCH, a sick chicken. If a sick chicken is less than or equal to 50, yes, administer medication. If the answer is no, then you're just checking the normal chickens now. If the chickens are more than 100, if there are 100 or more chickens greater than or equal to 100, chickens greater than or equal to 100, notify the Ministry of Agriculture. If the answer is yes, notify the Ministry of Agriculture. Rectangle causes a process. Notify Ministry of Agriculture. Right. Otherwise, quarantine the sick chickens. Oh, I think it's just one decision you gotta make, you know. You're just checking the amount of sick chickens. And obviously, if this number of sick chickens is less than or equal to 50, you administer medication. And then if the answer is no, that means the number of sick chickens is more than 50. So therefore, you don't have to do the second if. All right, cool. Yeah, I understand why children understand why they're confused about the flowchart. Because the way they state it, that's not cool. Yeah. All right, so you're basically checking the number of chickens. Whatever number of chickens you have doesn't matter. But to check for the number of sick chickens, you can't just read the number of chickens. So you have to first read the number of sick chickens. Right, that is all you want to get. Sick chickens alone. If the sick chickens are less than or equal to 50, administer medication. Otherwise, from the 150 chickens I have, there will be the 100. So if there are 100 or more chickens, because clearly if it's not less than or equal to 50, it's greater than or equal to 50, right? So therefore, your job now is to do a rectangle and say notify Ministry of Agriculture. Yeah, okay. I see why this was confusing. This is definitely confusing. Yeah. Otherwise, quarantine the sick chickens and notify the Ministry of Agriculture. Okay. We have to quarantine sick chickens. That's a process. Okay. Quarantine sick chickens. And then notify the Ministry of Agriculture. And then stop. Nice. So you can do the one decision. Now, based on, you see how I was doing it before? I did it and I was going to put 2 decisions. There would be nothing wrong with you putting one decision, doing a yes, and then putting a next decision right after, because you'll just be writing like multiple ifs. But I think that is the answer they're looking for, which is one if statement. Check the number of sick chickens. If the answer is yes, and you have plenty, and you only have a little bit, all you have to do is do the medication. If the answer is no, and your sick chickens exceeding the 50 number, that means you don't have 100 or more chickens. So your condition could be healthy chickens being 100 or more, or sick chickens less than or equal to 50. One of the two, and you'll get that. How much marks to give it first? 10 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 marks. Yeah, I could see the 10 marks. Yeah, but this question is trash. This question is trash. Again, if I were writing this exam this morning, or at the same time that you were writing, by now, I would be like,
ladies and gentlemen, they want to kill me here tonight. I want everybody to know that they want to kill me here tonight. They do not want me out here. They do. What is this?
yeah. So even if the sick chickens are between 51 and 99, they're not really gonna change anything. The fact is, if you don't have 50 sick chickens, that means 100 or more of your chickens are good. Yeah. When they say 100 or more chickens, they mean 100 or more healthy chickens. That is what they're trying to say. They should have put the word healthy inside here. That would have made it a whole lot easier. If you have 100 or more healthy chickens, notify the Ministry of Agriculture. Yeah. No, if you have 100 or more sick chickens, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So if you have 50 or less sick chickens, just administer medication, which will make sense. If you have 100 or more sick chickens, then you should notify the Ministry of Agriculture, quarantine your sick chickens, and notify, yeah. But look, why would they say it twice? They're like, if you have 100 or more chickens, notify the Ministry of Agriculture, quarantine Just now. Look, they have otherwise. Yeah, see any otherwise. That means it have another decision to be made for real. Somebody. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
Did they mean if there are 100 or more sick chickens? That's what I want to know. Because it can't just be asking if there are 100 or more chickens. Because they clearly said that Ringo has 150 chickens. So, of course, he has 100 or more chickens. So, I want to believe that they left out the word sick. I want to believe that they left out the word sick. Because it had to have an error in the question. There has to have an error in the question. I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? Right? There must be an error in the question because you can't just say, however, if there are 100 or more chickens because there are 150 chickens. If there are 100 or more sick chickens, then you notify the Ministry of Agriculture. Otherwise, quarantine the sick chickens and also notify the Ministry of Agriculture. But if you have 100 or more sick chickens, why would you just notify the Ministry of Agriculture? All right. Let's answer this. I'm going to get to the bottom of it based on the error that they most likely made in their statement. Right? So normally, whenever there's a question with an error, I'll just kind of leave it and move on. Because they can't mark here. They can't mark here if they forgot to put the word sick here. If they forgot to put the word sick here, then they had to give you marks. They definitely had to give you marks. I believe that if they missed out the word sick, this part here, they can't mark you on that. They will only mark you on the first part, which is up to here, right? So let's just pause and say, okay, there's an error in the question, for sure. However, if there are 100 or more, because based on the logic of the question, if you have 50 or less sick chickens, you do something. If you have 100 or more sick chickens, you notify the Ministry of Agriculture. Otherwise, quarantine the sick chickens, because clearly the word sick missing, right? Good. So, if you have 50 or less sick chickens, you would administer medication. That's definitely a rectangle, right? Right. Now, if the answer is no, you do have 50, less than 50 or more sick chickens. Now you have to check to see if you have 100 or more sick chickens. So if the answer is no, you have to check to see if SCH is greater than or equal to 100. Nice. If it's greater than 100, notify the Ministry of Agriculture. So we'll just say if the answer is yes, notify the ministry. And if the answer is no, otherwise, quarantine the sick chickens. Quarantine the sick chickens. And after you quarantine the sick chickens, notify the Ministry of Agriculture. We'll just put it there again. And then you stop. Right? So hear me and hear me very, very clearly. Very, very clearly. From this part down is wrong. They made an error and didn't put the word sick. Right? So the first part of the question, if there are 50 or less sick chickens, you could do that. No problem there. No issues at all. You could do that part. This part here, however, if there are 100 or more sick chickens, because there can't be 100 or more chickens, because we definitely have 100 or more chickens, because it's 150 chickens, notify the Ministry of Agriculture. Why would you notify the Ministry of Agriculture if the chicken's okay? That wouldn't make any sense. So you have to notify them if they are sick. Otherwise, quarantine the sick chickens because they're obviously looking for the sick chickens. Okay, cool. So that's the flow chart. So as I said, they will mark you on the first part, which is 10 marks. So they'll probably check for 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably out 4 or 5 marks. Maybe 4 marks. So once you have the first part, you're good. Once you have the first part, you're good. The second part, you'll have to assume that the word was sick. But under the examination laws, they can't make students assume anything. Nice. I am unhappy because this paper is very, bogusly worded. Very bogusly worded. Let's go. Corner store has 5 locations. Any community is about to expand to its 6th store. The current information system will need to be implemented at this new store along with upgrade for across all stores. There are 2 options. Implement the information system on new store. Once all tests are acceptable, then upgrade the other 5 stores over a period of 3 months. Upgrade all 6 stores overnight between the hours of 2 a.m. for a year. One advantage, one disadvantage. Okay. Option 1 is clearly bad. No, clearly good. Option 1 is you can see if there are any errors. Before you move on to other stores. All right, next is that advantage for option 2. If you upgrade all stores at the same time, you would have use less manpower and reduce cost because you do all of them in one shot. The disadvantage of doing the first one, it'll be higher cost because of more work hours. Basically, people had to work over the course of 3 months. 3 months. And then disadvantage option 2, if there's an error, all stores will have the error. Yeah. Yeah, that's straightforward answers there. I can't think about much more besides that. How much more it might have besides that, I don't know. Yeah, doing things at 2 a.m. in the morning is more resources, yeah. So a disadvantage will be like 2 a.m. in the morning. You know, people sleepy. You'll be sleepy at 2 a.m. in the morning, yeah. It's inconvenient and that kind of stuff. Cool. Good. State the name of the diagram or chart that will be useful to manage this. For option 1, that's called a Gantt chart. You basically did that for AI. Because it charts the progression of tasks over a set period of time. Since the new store opens for later hours, a decision table has been prepared. If the cashier is experienced and is working at the new store, then training is in the evening. Otherwise, training is in the morning. If the cashier is in and is new, cashier is new and is working at the new store, then that cashier must pair with someone who's already trained. Otherwise, training in the morning. Construct a decision table for the information provided above. 9 marks, and they gave 2 pages to do the table. They gave 5 lines to do the HTML and 9 minutes to do a decision table.
Emotional damage.
Guys, this is not on the syllabus, you know. Let me just, I need to make sure that I'm not wrong. Let me get the syllabus name. Let me find my syllabus. The new syllabus for 2022. Alright. That's now I'm currently looking at the syllabus. Let me see if I can find it. Decision table. Scrolling to module 3. In module 3, they have. I don't see anything about decision table, but hold on. Let me make sure I am correct. I don't want to say that they don't have it on your syllabus and then I end up. Module 3. All right. Including questionnaires, interviews, observations, review, investigation of printed material, EI diagrams, data flow diagrams, process models, object models, decision tables. Oh my goodness, it is on the syllabus, kids. Decision tables and trees. It does exist. It is a number 7 in Unit 1, Module 3, specific objective number 7. Discuss the tools used in different stages of the SDLC. Decision tables and trees.
Impossible.
Let me just let you know. I don't even teach this in my class. In my actual class, I've never taught a decision table. I probably mention a decision table in passing because the word is on the syllabus and we talk about it. But to actually draw a decision table or draw a decision tree, I've never taught that before. So, because the objective says discuss the tools used in the different stages of the SDLC, and decision table is one of them that discuss. So you have to be able to discuss questionnaires, interviews, observation, review, ER diagrams, and whatnot. The key word is discussed in the syllabus. Could I show you all the syllabus, boy? I don't think I have the Nah, I can't share this part on my screen. But yeah, the syllabus, trust me when I tell you. Hold on, let me see if I could share it. No. Sorry, I can't share it. But if you go to page 15 of the syllabus, you will see discuss the tools used in the SDLC. One of them is decision tables. Drawing a decision table, it's not on the syllabus. If I was marking, right? But as you all know, I don't mark anymore because marking is slave labor. So, yeah, I don't think they could mark this question, you know, Because the syllabus clearly says we had to be able to discuss. I don't think they should mark you on being able to draw a decision table. I'll talk to my friends in CXC marking and find out what was the justification for this. Because I have some friends whose mark Cape. I don't know for whatever reason they're still marking Cape, and well, good for them. But yeah, I'll find out what the talk of the tongue was with this question. But if we were to draw a decision table, based on my knowledge of what a decision table looks like, is it will ask you for a scenario. You'll have the input, scenario. And then you'll have the input and then the output. Let's Google it real quick. Decision table and software. Yeah, there's usually have the scenario, the input, and the output. Basically, the condition on the output. Okay. There are multiple ways to do it. Okay, so let's see. So figure out all the things that they're checking for. Scenario 1. You gotta check for experience. Yeah, I don't think they can mark this question. Right, experience. Working in new store. And then the output is evening training. Morning training. Saying it one more time, I don't think they can mark this question. I don't think they could mark this question because it said discussing about to draw a decision table. If a cashier is new and is working on the new store. Right, okay. Alright, so we have scenario 1 and scenario 2. Is the cashier experienced? Yes. Is the cashier working in a new store? Yes. So then training is in the evening. Evening training. All right. Then if a cashier is new, so the cashier is new and working in a new store, then they have to pair with somebody. Pair with somebody who's experienced. Tick there. And yeah, pair with somebody who's already trained. Otherwise, training is in the morning. Well, so they have scenario 1. I'll say 1A and 1B. Scenario A, 1A and 1B. Alright, so the cashier is experienced and working at the new store, then trainers in the morning. Otherwise, if the cashier is not experienced and not working in a new store, training is in the morning. Right. Second scenario now is 2A and then 2B. So the first one is if the cashier is new and is working in a new store, cashier is not experienced, working in a new store, then they have to pair with somebody who's already trained. So they don't get any of that. And for 2B, otherwise, training is in the morning. So if the cashier is not new, that means they're experienced, and they are not working in a new store, training is in the morning. Yeah. All right, cool. So I'm going to write very clearly they should not mark this. For sure. They shouldn't mark this. Nowhere in the syllabus they ask you to be able to construct a decision table. They can't do that because the syllabus clearly says discuss the tools used in the different stages of SDLC. One of them is a decision table, and to be able to discuss it, all you need to be able to say is a decision table gives you a particular outcome depending on the inputs that you put in. That's all. There is no drawing of a decision table. I'm saying that. I said it big. Do I have that meme, man? I don't have a said it in big, boy. Anyhow, if they ask you why the question shouldn't be marked, just tell them I read it in the syllabus.
Did I stutter?
If I was marking this year, I would be like, y'all, part C has to be taken out. And then if they ask me why, I'll be like,
You're talking over the artist. You can't ask me to deal with something. You can't ask me to deal with something and then you don't want to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would agree that I should get the 9 marks. I would agree that I should get 9 marks. All right. So thanks you all. For those of you all who watch the video and whatnot, I think it should be okay. They should take out this 9 marks. If they take out this 9 marks, everything else in the paper, aside from the questions that were kind of where the flowchart stuff, it should be okay. Yeah. All right, so you're welcome, Matthew. Thanks, and all those of you who watch all the videos and stuff, download the app. Remember for Unit 2, keep the app downloaded. Use the resources if you want check me for Unit 2 classes. You know what to find me, because if you just realize that you like how I teach, imagine if I'm your teacher. Alright, and don't forget to tell other students about the app. Don't forget to tell other students about the resources, everything like that. I appreciate it. I love when there are sane comments in the chat. Yeah. Alright. So I'll see y'all I'll see y'all when I see y'all somewhere around the place. Right. Later.